Hey, this is Scott of photographybanzai.com. Doing another excursion video today. In this case, it was Anderson Gardens in Rockford, Illinois. It's a Japanese style garden designed by an actual designer from Japan many years ago. Very interesting place. If you're ever in the area, I suggest you check it out. I currently have one other video, and potentially one or two more. That'll make 4 of this place, so you can see all about it. You'd probably be interested in checking out. Okay, let's see. I will go over equipment that I was using, and then some of the photos that I liked, some that I disliked, as usual. Let's see, I was using the Pentax K-01 as well as the K-5, and then the 24mm f2 lens. That's a FA star Pentax lens. Pretty hard to come by these days. And also the 85mm f1.4 FA star. That was on the K-5. First off, this one was with the 24mm lens at f4, and I believe I was using a circular polarizer, so you don't really get much reflection. Let's open up camera raw. Looks pretty good. Not too sharp, but I assume that's from the polarizer. It's not one of the super expensive ones. Although this looks like the focal point. That looks decent. Composition wise, I thought it was interesting how this group of 3 was moving together, and then the large one was going to the other direction, splitting off. Kind of interesting photo. This next one, we had one cosplayer, of course that is Sailor Moon cosplay, and I did not set up this scene here, another person did, but I was there and I took a photo. That was again with the 24mm lens. Interesting thing about this one, and I do like this photo, is that her reflection is in there. She's got her hand down towards the water. Next up, I liked this photo. It has a really good feel to it. Landscape photos are difficult, I think they're one of the most difficult because there is so much out there. It's hard to get kind of a perfect framing, a perfect getting the horizon very level, making sure all of the elements in the frame are fitting with what you want. Now, I wouldn't say this center area is good, so that's a detriment, but I like how the building is, and the angles, the lines here are very pleasing to my eye, at least. Just enough sky to make it a little more interesting, and then of course the greens are very vibrant. This one here I liked. I'm pretty sure I was using full manual in this case because I wanted to capture the true look of the scene and not whatever the camera decided to expose. Of course, I think the camera was, I might have tried like aperture priority, and the camera's metering system would not meter it how I wanted, so I went full manual, 1/400th of a second at 5.6, ISO 100, and then a negative 0.7 exposure compensation. But I really like the feel of that image, and as I was saying, the camera would naturally expose this to the light areas too bright, so that requires some manual control to get what you want there. This one I did not like. My goal was some type of symmetry, but getting that perfectly aligned didn't happen. Looks decent. It looks like I tried to modify it in Camera Raw, but still, even then, these lines on the side are not straight. Didn't turn out. This one here I did not like. There is a slight unlevel nature to the photo. That could be modified. Let's do that. So in this program here I could just, in Camera Raw, I can level the horizon. I think that helps quite a bit. Even so, it's relatively decent, but not too exciting. It doesn't look too sharp, and the colors aren't that great. This one again I didn't like. Again with the slight off-aligned horizon line. And it's generally not too exciting. The clouds here are a little too clipped off. There should be no clouds or more clouds in my opinion. And it's just not that exciting. This one here, a little better, but still, I like the amount of clouds, and I can still see a slight tilt, which this one is a little more challenging to fix. Looks like I already tried to fix it. Let's see what the original looks like. So that one didn't turn out too exciting. There's a group photo, another group photo. Actually, I like this one. It's got a lot of emotion to it. Next group. Here is the cosplayer again. I like this photo. It looks slightly off focus, but even then it's pretty interesting. And it's, of course, with the 85mm lens f2. So if the focus were better, camera's not doing what it should do, but I still like the photo. This little guy here was walking around near one of the little ponds, so I managed to get a pretty nice photo of him with the 85mm lens. I don't usually get into the super details here, but in these type of videos, but I'm gonna go 100% on this one. So you can see this lens is pretty fantastic. Lots of detail in his fur, or her fur, who knows. Cute little chipmunk. In this one too, I like the rule of thirds style framing, and that fits well. The areas around aren't too exciting, but I think with the small aperture of f2, that works to kind of minimize their prominence in the photo. This one here turned out very nice, I think. Again, with the cosplayer. In this situation, I used my friend's wireless flash setup to kind of equalize a little bit more of those really harsh shadows that the trees around were casting upon the subject. So I think that did definitely work in this case, where the shadows would have been much harsher on her if the flash wasn't used to add some extra light to the situation. So in the EXIF data, you wouldn't see that the flash was used, but it was. Here's one that I like the framing, although now that I look at it, it doesn't look very sharp, but I like how she's standing. I like the position she is in the frame. Here's another one with the little chipmunk. This one is not as good as the one up here. Why? Because I think this rock was a detriment to the photo. And he's a little bit small. I'd like him to be more prominent in the image, but with the prime lens, you know, you can't, especially with a subject like that they would run away very easily. You can't move around, so that is one detriment with using prime lenses. This one here I didn't like too much because I think in that situation the this is the 85, it was too much light and the contrast suffered because I don't have a hood for that lens, but framing's decent otherwise. This one here I didn't like too much, why I clipped her feet and her hand. However, in that situation again with the prime lens, I remember this shot very specifically, that I didn't have enough room to back up. This one's off focus, probably just a quick snapshot. Again, another one that I didn't like too much. This one is good, very sharp, the framing's decent. So again, she's on the bridge. That was with the 85. Another similar one. Not as good, I prefer that one. So that was about it for this group. Again, that was Anderson Gardens in Rockford, Illinois. It's definitely a good place to check out if you're interested in this style of garden. They do allow monopods, however they do not allow tripods there, so don't bring a tripod. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Thanks.